Momentum, the eighth wonder of the world. We've spoken many times about doing the work for the sake of doing the work. And when I talk about the work, what that means to you can vary. That can change and that can depend on who you are, where you're at, and what stage of life you're in. For me, my work is obviously this. My work is fitness. My work is my family. My work applies to a lot of different things. And it all comes down to where I'm at in those stages and what that work looks like. So the work could consist of, if we're talking my health and fitness, it's my weighted walks, it's my workout, it's drinking 4 liters of water a day, it's my animal-based diet, it's, daily sunlight, it's grounding, it's, things like that. The work can be included in mental capacity. It can be meditation, it can be walking. My weighted walks happen without the headphones. It's just getting out in nature. It can be those kind of things. Even sometimes the work in relationships is definitively and clearly setting aside time for my wife, for my children, for my friends, allocating that with specific intention, not just letting it be haphazard. The work in business is doing these podcasts. It is creating the content. It's guiding my clients. It's showing up in all those different areas. So the work needs to be identified ahead of time, kind of thing. So it's not ad hoc. It's not haphazard. It's not a random, look at me kind of thing. It's a deliberate and conscious choice. But the work is the work. And the work has to get done. Now, if you've ever read Steven Pressfield's The War of Art or Turning Pro or any of those kinds of things, which I would strongly recommend as a great fucking life choice right there. In those, he talks about the work and resistance and allowing the muse to flow. So obviously he is a writer, but I believe it applies to a lot of things as, this kind of work and like where I get my ideas from for this. And he's like, you have to place yourself in a position to be able to call upon the muse. You have to show up every day in the same place, in the same time frame, in the same headspace, and the ability then to do the work, to show up and get the work done for the sake of doing the work. It's not ad hoc, it's not random, it's a deliberate and conscious choice of what you're willing to do and how you're going to do it. They talk about Stephen King, and I nearly always mess up the wording on this, so I'll do my best on that. And when they say that, they talk about it, and it's like, so Stephen King sat down every single day at 9 a.m. and wrote till 5 p.m. Now, is he Stephen King because he did that? Or could he do that because he was Stephen King? And the question is, like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Was Stephen King prolific because he had that kind of work ethic? Or did the work ethic come because he was Stephen King? And I generally think it's the latter. It's like people who have great success in their life have incredible discipline. And it's not like they got really, really successful and then developed this great discipline. No, they got really, really successful because they had great fucking discipline. Discipline and momentum are what changes lives. It's what allows you to become the best version of yourself. It allows you to excel. It's what allows you to do the things that are required, regardless of emotions, regardless of feelings, regardless of how you feel and show up at that time. It just allows you to get the work fucking done. And that's what's required. And so when we talk about momentum, that's part of it. You build the discipline of just doing the work for the sake of doing the work. So every single day when we talk about my health and fitness, there is no question then I'm getting up and I'm doing a weighted walk. I'm doing a workout. I'm going to drink 4 liters of water. I'm going to eat an animal-based diet. I'm going to get some sunlight. I'm going to get my feet connected to the ground. And then there are other things on top of that that will benefit me if I get them done. But those things are unquestionable. And we're now, 180 odd days into this where I have not missed once. Not once, not a single time have I missed this. And that's what I talk about with momentum. Now, if you've been listening to a lot of these and you've been paying attention, which, to be honest, I'm not, most people dip in and out. They don't know all the ins and outs, so that's fine. But I'm currently rehabbing a shoulder injury. So I've got a little bit of bursitis and a little bit, inflammation in my AC joint and a little bit of tennis elbow that I am currently addressing. Now, these are old injuries from, the shoulders from 16 odd years ago, 17 years ago. Jesus Christ, has it really been that long? Yeah, that'd be about right. Can't be that long. 15 years ago? 15 years ago. Back when I was in college. Dislocated my shoulder. And I've been delaying dealing with this issue. Because, it's not fun. It's fucking boring. And it's lame as shit. But I am also maturing. It finally happened in my 30s. I finally decided to mature and grow up a little bit. But I'm maturing and realizing that I am not indestructible anymore. That I cannot just continue to push forward and ignore those feelings. I have to actually address them. And so that's what I'm doing. So for the past 5 weeks, I have not lifted a weight. I have not touched a barbell, a dumbbell, a kettlebell. I've just been doing rehab, basically. And I have been addressing all of the minor, not big issues that I have going on. Because they will become big issues if I do not address them. Doesn't mean I haven't been working out. As I said, for 180 odd days, I have not fucking missed. I am consistent as fuck. And I haven't missed on that front. But what I've been doing is rehab. Bands and muscle manipulation and activating the right muscles and getting those things to sit back into the correct position and little minute activation exercises and boring as fuck stuff. Like, it shits me to tears to have to do this stuff. But the work is the work. And it has to get done because, as I said, my highest value is my family. And it irked me no end. And the reason why that it kicked me over the edge was my daughter asked me to throw her in the air. And I did, but it hurt my shoulder so much that I couldn't do much else for the rest of the day. And that was another one of those light bulb, wake up, slap in the face moments where I was like, this is fucking unacceptable. My highest value is my family. I plan to live to be 120. I plan to see my great-great-grandkids. Whether that's realistic, I don't know. I don't give a fuck either. But that's what I'm aiming for. Longevity and health beyond all health. But also the ability to play with my kids. The ability to do whatever I want, whenever the fuck I want. And in that moment, I was like, I have been choosing aesthetics over my highest value. Because I love lifting heavy shit. I love being in good shape. I love muscle building. I love hypertrophy. I love those kinds of things. But I'd been choosing that over the ability to throw my daughter in the air, to be able to play with her, to be able to climb things, to be able to do at any point the things I want to do and she wants me to do with her. So that was a wake-up call, and I had to step back and evaluate the choices I was making. So I was like, okay, it is time. It is time to bite the bullet and do what has to be done. So that's what I'm doing. So every day I still work out, and I do those little Small baby movements, those rehab things, and it's getting better. It's getting a shit ton better, which is amazing. I was worried that it was going to be 12 to 18 weeks and might be able to get it down to 8, kind of thing. But we're here to talk about momentum. And how this links into the momentum is A, I've been doing it every day and the results have been coming faster and faster and faster, and I'm really fucking pleased about that. B, I've been absolutely smashing the weighted walks on the other side. And my momentum in that has built into that. I tried a 30 kilo weight vest for the first time a couple of days ago. And I fucking killed it. I thought I was going to go so slow. But I covered 3.5 Ks straight off the bat with the 30 kilos on my shoulder, which was better than the first time I did the 10 kilo weight vest. So the momentum is there, and I have levels of acceptable things. So once you surpass 4.5 Ks in 45 minutes, you need to get heavier or push for faster. At the moment, I'm trying to, on the rare occasions I go back down to a 10 kilo weight vest, I'm trying to see if I can crack the 5K mark in 45 minutes. And I think I'll get there. The way I'm tracking at the moment, I think I'll be able to crack that point. But the momentum I have built from not missing a day on that has been huge. Like, I was talking to a friend about this the other day. The levels, the points I reached where I would have been ecstatic, I would have been like, fuck yes, even 2 months ago. Like, when I reached that point, I was so chuffed with myself, is now my worst day. Like, I look at that and go, fuck, what am I doing? That was terrible. And I had to have that reality check of like, that my worst day now is already a kilometer faster than my original average was. Like, that's where you have to get it, and that's what momentum does, and that comes from I haven't fucking missed. I have not missed a day since I started doing this. I just keep showing up, and I deliver, and I deliver, and I deliver, and that's what momentum does. And as I said, I haven't done a proper workout for at least 4 weeks. It might be 5 weeks. I'd have to check my training split. And yet, I am getting stronger, I am getting leaner, I am getting bigger. Like, things that are unfathomable, that shouldn't be transpiring, are happening with the lowest level of effort in the workout I've seen in a long time. And, well, actually, that's not true. Lowest level of intensity. The effort is still there, the intensity is not there because it's not the point. The point is to rehab, and its point is to correct. But I am delivering incredible results without the same level of intensity, which makes me so excited to finish this phase and have these areas rehabbed. So when I kick back into the true intensity that I'm known for, that I love to do, I can't wait to see those results. I cannot wait to see what I can deliver between now and the end of the year. Just recently, we passed 100 days left of 2024. And I am so excited to see how I can finish out this year. Because unequivocally, on a physical level, I am going to finish out this year as one of my best years. And that's part of this momentum that I talk about. That the older I get, the better I get at this, the fitter, the stronger, the healthier I get. I'm not in decline, I'm on the rise. And that comes down to my choices. That I am choosing better. I am choosing to age this way. I'm choosing to progress into my, I'll be 33 this year. I've got 2 kids, a wife, a business, all this kind of stuff. And I'm getting better and better and better. And that is by choice. I'm also making, a decision to close out 2024, to utilize that last 100 days to make 2024 the best year to date. And I'm going to crush this. I'm I'm going to finish out really fucking strong. But again, that's the choice. That's the momentum. That's the building up of this. That's the continuation of all the things that I have been doing, and just keep pushing them forward and seeing them to continue to rise and continue to improve and continue to see that growth happen. And that's what it's about. And that's why momentum is the eighth wonder of the world, because, you know, it's like compounding interest. If you can get it and continue it and just keep doing it and stack and stack and stack and stack those daily wins. How many days in a row can you stack those wins? How many days in a row can you do it to perfection and watch the progress compound on itself? 180 odd days in, I don't think about what I eat. I don't think about the exercise I do. I just fucking do it, and I get in, and the results speak for themselves. And it's just building on itself, and it's building on itself. And I can't even believe, considering, like, I'm not paying that close attention to my food. I'm not working out at the intensity that I like, that the results are just compounding on themselves. And it comes from momentum and that unparalleled zero choice mentality of this is what is getting done. I have made that decision. It is done. End of story. This is who I am. And that's where that comes from. And that's where those results come from doing that kind of work. And that's so exciting. And I love when momentum builds. And oftentimes you don't even notice it. And I am blessed enough in this moment to have caught it and noticed it and gone, yeah, it's happening. It's happening, this change, this progression. I am in the midst of all that work, all that momentum paying off into something greater. And that's so exciting. Because it is. Momentum is the eighth wonder of the world, if you will utilize it, if you let it be, if you choose to stack the daily wins. That Seinfeld method. How many days in a row can I put an X on the calendar that I crushed this day? How many days in a row? 'Tis the question. How many can you stack in a row? And then watch the momentum build. And you'll reach a point where you just want to keep going. As I mentioned, part of 126, phase 2, is that I get 10 days off. That I have built into it 10 days off on my nutrition. Purely from the point of view for things that matter. You know, my wife's birthday, our anniversary, my kid's birthday, my birthday, Christmas, these kinds of things that are important relationship builders and experiential things. So it's not necessarily about the food and not fueling my body, it's about the experience and being part of that with my family and friends. So I've allowed those 10 days, and yet I don't want to utilize them. I don't want to do that. I'm so invested in where I'm at right now. I am so excited and pumped up with what's going on right now that I don't even want to take those days off. I remember in the beginning, I was like, fuck, what am I doing here? When can I stop? When can I have a break? When can I, splurge on those things? And if you just stack those wins enough days in a row, then you get to this point and you're like, I don't want to pirate that anymore. I want to do this. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm looking forward for. This is what I'm enjoying. I want to build the wins. I want to get as many in a row. And so I'm delaying and delaying and delaying these things until it is something that actually matters. Something that is important, as I said, a birthday, a anniversary, Christmas, those kinds of things that are really important things. But I'm looking on the flip side of this on to next year. And I'm like, after Christmas, I think I could have a clear run for like 250 days, which is so exciting. And that's when you know you've built the momentum. And that's when you know you have reached a point of that snowball effect has compounded into something so great that it's exciting to continue to follow through. It's exciting to do the work for the sake of the work. That's when you've reached the other side. That's when you have turned pro. And now, as I've stated before, this is not in all areas. I am a deeply, deeply flawed human being, and there are many other areas that I need to work on. But in the fitness, in that area, I have fucking conquered that. I have turned pro at the highest level, and I am just going to continue to push this and to see how great I can make this become. Now I need to utilize that skill that I have built, that discipline and that focus, and I need to transfer it into business. I need to transfer that into finances. I need to transfer into other areas of my life. And I look forward to the day that I look back on this video and go, fuck yeah, I did that. I spoke about it, and then I brought it into action, and I made it a reality. And I did that through momentum building, because that's where we're at. It's about that momentum, and I've got to build the momentum in the other areas. I'm still in those really early stages where I'm pushing that fucking snowball up that hill. It hasn't built its own momentum yet, but it will get there with consistency, with 0 days off, with a zero choice mentality that is just what has to get done. And that's why we focus on momentum. It's why we focus on stacking those wins. It's why we just keep going day after day after day after day after day, because the momentum will change your life. So that's all I have for you today. I hope that helped. I hope that spoke to you. And if it did, please like, comment, subscribe, send it to someone who needs to hear this. And if you want to start building your own momentum, if you want to step into the next stage, please click the link in my bio. Grab my top 10 tools to transform your mental toughness. Lastly, if you are ready to seriously take life by the balls, to take control and step into your own power, to build your own momentum, to build that grit, that discipline, that focus, please send me a message. Let's get you into chasing greatness. Let's get you into my first 30-day challenge. That's the first stage, and let's see what you can do. Let's see how 30 days can transform your life. 30 days of momentum, that's how it starts, and it builds and it builds and it builds on itself, and it could change everything for you. So shoot me a message, and let's see what you can do with a little bit of momentum. Until then.